am doing this at the last minute, trying to get this up, but I am very sorry. Month 7 is going to be a quick one because today, the first Saturday in November, the next clue, month 8 clue is coming out. Been a busy month, but let's see what we can do. Now, one thing I did, let me turn this and show you, is I have set up the blocks like I think they're supposed to go together. And I wanted to make sure that the centers were spread evenly through the quilt, because I did slightly different centers on half of these. So I didn't want them to all bunch up in one place. Anyway, I think I've got this pretty well laid out. And now I'll get ready, and it says begin with this block up here. So I'm going to pick this up and start to sew them together. So I just wanted to show you what I was doing first, is I laid these out just like it shows in the instructions, and I will begin with this block to do the sewing. So it says on the instructions, I'm to sew seam number 1. And if you see on this instruction right here, there's the seam marked 1. I better follow it step by step, but right now I'm going to sew seam number 1. I will match the dots and try to get this as perfect as I can. Don't forget, sew it with the border piece facing up, so you can come a scant 1/8 of an inch right above that last line. Remember, with this quilt, the whole time we have been sewing that scant 1/8 of an inch above the stripe, so that you have a little black line outside of the border pattern. Okay, I'm going to drop my stitches down to 2.0. I don't want any of these seams coming apart later. And I'm matching my dots, and so far everything's matching up really well. So, even though this looks like it might be difficult, following the instructions is always the way to go. And what I did is left a little black sliver of a line under this border stripe. Now I'm going to go press this. I'll be right back. But this, it says go counterclockwise. So now I want to pick up this one. So seam number 1 there also. So now I'm flipping this over to do section 1, line 1 first here also. And I match the dots. These dots come in so handy. I tell you what, I'm turning into a big believer in them. Okay, I stop at that dot, and I will go press this and then pick up the next piece. Okay, I have the next piece, and I have the correct sides to start sewing it on. Pin this. It's getting a little awkward. It wants to fall off the table, so I thought it might be a good thing to pin this one. The weight of that fabric changes everything. All right, I've finished all the step 1s. Now the step 2s are very simple. You just pick up from here, step 1. This is the seam I did in step 1. Now I'm going to do step 2 all the way around, then come back, and this is step 3, matching those. Piece of cake. Thank you for wonderful instructions, Miss Jinny Beyer. So I'm going to start here and work my way counterclockwise. Okay, now I'm doing seam 2 all the way around, same thing. Don't forget, keep your stripe side up so that you can match your scant 1/8 of an inch or so away from the edge of that stripe. And boy, these dots line up with everything. So by the time you finish, you know you've got it exactly where it should be. This is fantastic. I'm so relieved. I've had a long day and I thought, oh, this may be hard. Not at all. You start and stop right at that dot, because that way you'll have the room to pivot when you do the next seam, which is a set-in seam. I'm no longer afraid of set-in seams, because when you understand the mechanics and where to pivot, it's not a problem. Okay, now I'm ready. I'm not sure if it taped. I think I had the camera off, but I had a seam that wasn't lining up good. So I took it out and redid it, because now is the time to do it before you sew this next step in. Okay. Here, let's see how this one is looking. This one's looking pretty good. Now we'll do the next one in line. This is my third seam, seam 2. I love these block of the month programs because it keeps me from forgetting to finish or getting too busy. I always want to be ready for that next month's clue, and it's not too much. I can get busy with other things I've got going on and not feel like I'm overwhelmed. So, and I learned so much, because like this month, all we're doing is concentrating on being accurate and matching our dots, even getting some practice in on the set-in seam. So it's a good thing. Good thing. All right. I'm at my last number 2 seam, so I'm very tickled. The number 3 set-ins, once I have them pinned, they're going to be a piece of cake. I'm not worried about that at all. So now I'm doing step 3. So I need to be very careful with this because I need these border edges to line up perfectly. Because this will show if I don't get it lined up perfectly. So I'm going to pin it twice. But I'm lining these borders. See how when I lean it down? I'm lining them up perfectly. It's good to take that extra time because this is only a little 2-inch seam, but it matters a lot. Okay. Now let's see how that looks. How did that come out? Very nice. It matched up perfectly. Okay. I'm actually going to go back and to the starting point again. I didn't quite have it on the 1/4 inch. So let me, there we go. I think I'm happier with that. Okay. Let's see. Yep, I like it. Looks really good. See, this is where I want it to match. There, there, and there. And remember, let's say you put it this way and you think it's a touch off. See if you can't flip that seam over the other way and see if you have a better look. That's a great trick I learned years ago. Okay, so see, that wasn't hard at all. Now I'm going to get busy, get these next ones done. The main thing is just make sure to match those up perfectly. When they're matched perfectly, and remember, it's not just at the very end where you sew, because the match is going to have to look good 1/4 inch in from that seam. So make sure you've got a solid match there. Pin it firmly back a bit, and that way when you sew and then open up that seam, you'll be 1/4 inch from the edge and it will be beautiful. Okay, put this here. Line it up perfectly on your 1/4 inch. And off you go. Your seam allowance has to be accurate, because if it's not accurate, then your border edges will not line up perfectly. There's another beautiful one. So that works for me. Alright, go down around to my next one. I'm almost done, just in time, because by the time I get this done and go check my email, I bet you that Jinny Beyer newsletter will be there and have month 8, the step for month 8 waiting for me. Now, this was just in the nick of time. But you know, never give up. I've had a very busy month, and let's say that I just couldn't get it done in time this month. That's okay. I can catch up next month. Most likely it'll be a better month next month. Don't ever stop. Don't give up. It's just nice if you can stay on the schedule, because then you know when that part's done, then you'll have a complete quilt ready to enjoy with everyone else. Okay, I am totally done with month 7, just in time. And I have to tell you, I've been very happy to just follow along, go step by step, doing exactly what they said to do. And it's been such a pleasure. I don't think I've ever made a quilt quite as complex, but I'm very happy with it. So I'll go get this edited out on YouTube and get ready for month 8 coming tonight. So thank you for joining me. I think you'll agree it went together very easily so far. So I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.